In this one, we're going to take a look at how to preview your animations. The simple way to do this is simply to select a composition and hit the space bar. Now you might notice when you play back your animation for the first time, depending on the complexity of your project, that it's a little bit slow at first. You also might notice this little green line that trails your current time indicator as you're previewing. The reason for both of these things is because that After Effects is loading these frames into RAM. It's basically caching them so that you can preview them faster. You could actually hit the space bar to pause the previewing and then drag the current time indicator back to where the area is already green. And once you hit the space bar to preview again, you notice that it actually goes in almost real time, at least much faster than it was while it was trying to load those frames into RAM. Now, another way to preview is to hit 0 on the numeric keypad. This creates what's called a RAM preview. There are some subtle differences between the two. When you preview something by using the space bar, the priority for After Effects is trying to show you as much of your composition as possible. So if you have a 60-second long composition, but you only have 30 seconds of RAM that you can use to play back, then it will skip frames if it needs to play back the entire 60 seconds if it can. With RAM previews, the emphasis is on playing back in real time. So if it can only load 10 seconds of that composition into RAM to play that back in real time, then that's all it's going to show you. An added benefit of RAM previews is that it also previews audio, which you will not get with the space bar. If you want to preview just the audio, hit the period key on the numeric keypad. There's also a preview panel here, which can be expanded and has several options for previewing. The familiar play triangle icon here actually does the same thing as the space bar. It plays and it pauses. If you want to do a RAM preview using a button here in the preview panel, click on this button on the right side. There are also additional options in this panel, such as looping options and the option to preview this in full screen. I'm going to minimize this back again so we can see more of our project here. Another really important feature for previewing is the work area bar. The work area bar is kind of like this chameleon in the interface. It kind of blends in. It's difficult to see. Basically, it's these yellow bars right here. So we can click and drag the beginning and click and drag the end. And we can also click in the middle to move the work area around. Now, if I were to hit 0 on the numeric keypad, even though there is a distance between the current time indicator and the work area bar, it would automatically just jump to the work area bar because only that area is being previewed. This is particularly handy when there's a certain area you're trying to focus on. Now, you could also use keyboard shortcuts to adjust the work area bar. For example, if I hit the letter B as in boy, it automatically jumps the beginning of the work area bar to my current time indicator. The letter N, as in Nancy, is the shortcut for setting the end of the work area bar. If you want to restore the work area bar back to the full length of the composition, just double-click it. Now, that's pretty much all you need to know to get started with previewing your animations. However, I just want to point out again that RAM is such a crucial part of After Effects. I mentioned this green area about how After Effects loads these frames into RAM so it could play them back in real time. So the more RAM you have, the more After Effects can give you in terms of previews. From my experience, that's been the most important component of my computer to get the most out of After Effects.